to Kavanaugh's Corner. Today on the channel, I'm very excited to bring you a new release here. This is a review of a movie that I've actually loved for many years. I remember seeing this on AMC when I was a kid. Of course, it was a little edited for violence and things like that, but I've had this on DVD, I've had it on Blu-ray. This is a movie that I've had on a lot of different formats over the years. And so when this was announced that it was coming to 4K, I was very, very excited. And that movie is, of course, Pale Rider, starring Clint Eastwood. Michael Moriarty also plays a great part in this movie. And Sydney Penny as the young stepdaughter, if you will, of Michael Moriarty's character. This is an awesome Western. If you've never seen this before, I highly recommend it. Clint Eastwood plays a preacher. We never really get his name in classic Eastwood style, of course. But he plays this mysterious character who is almost supernatural in force, and it's not the first time he's played a character like this. He did a movie many years earlier called High Plains Drifter, and Clint also directed and starred in that film. But I've always liked Pale Rider more. For some reason, it's just something about the look and the story of this movie. Yeah, it's a Western, but it's just, it has such a distinct style to it. Bruce Surtees was the director of photography on this, and he had an amazing way of playing with darkness and shadow, and I think Clint really likes that kind of look. Clint has always kind of reused that look in a lot of his films. Unforgiven is a big one, even all the way to like $1 Million Baby and Gran Torino. He really loves playing with that dark and light kind of look, and this movie really does it masterfully. And so when I saw it was coming to 4K, I was really excited because no other release of this movie has really quite gotten the black levels right of this film. So to have it in 4K with a native 4K transfer, and with HDR10 and Dolby Atmos audio. I was very, very excited to see this. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that this film was sent to me by Warner Brothers Home Entertainment and SDS Studio Distribution Services. So they sent this to me in exchange for my review. Now, the one thing I do have to mention, of course, is the fact that my opinion of this product is not swayed by the fact that they sent this to me. I'm not beholden to them to give this a good review or to speak kindly of it. I can say whatever I want. My opinion is mine alone, and again, yours may differ, but today, as always, I'm going to be talking about the picture quality, the audio quality, and the special features, because this actually does come with some brand new special features on here as well. So if you're new here to the channel, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. I do reviews of 4Ks and Blu-rays at least once a week. I try to get one a week. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll just talk about certain topics. Like a while back, I talked about the state of physical media, things like that. So if you like that kind of thing, if you're a collector of physical media, or if you just like movies in general, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button, okay? So to jump right into the review here, the picture quality on Pale Rider here is without a doubt the most impressive this movie has ever looked. This is a native 4K transfer, as I mentioned, with HDR10. One thing right from the start of the movie, the majestic mountaintops and the forest kind of settings, those landscapes are really, really impressive looking in this film. Now with this in true 4K, it really is just stunning to look at. Film grain of the picture has been minimized from what I could see. It doesn't look like there's a heavy amount of digital noise reduction used, but the film definitely isn't as grainy as I remember previous versions of this movie looking. That being said, there is still a fine layer of grain all throughout the film, and the detail level is super, super high. The dirty clothes of the gold panners, Clint Eastwood's face, there's a lot of close-ups of him in this movie, and he has this like this scruffy kind of beard in this movie, and you can really see like each individual hair. The just the look of this movie from start to finish has just been so enhanced now. And I mentioned Bruce Surtees earlier. Those interior scenes now look so much better. There's a lot of scenes where characters go inside of buildings, and those scenes are so dark, and they are probably darker now than they ever have been, but they're proper to the look of the film. The black levels, especially in those sequences in the nighttime scenes where something is only lit by fire or, you know, a lamp or something like that, there's so much more detail now, and it's not black crush, it's the look of the movie. And we're now finally getting that look just right. One scene in particular, Clint Eastwood goes into this character's name is LaHood. He goes into his little office area, and the interior of this building is so dark, while the exterior, all the light from the scene really is coming in from the windows. And you can actually see just how overexposed those windows are in order to accomplish this dark photography that they're doing on the inside. It's really impressive. It's a really impressive looking movie, and that scene in particular really blew me away of just how good those black levels are. And if you have an OLED television or something like that, like I have, it's really going to show off those sequences better than ever now. The HDR10 not only does a number for those black levels, but it really helps out the colors. There is such vibrancy in this film now. The blue skies, the white of the snow on the ground in the town and on the mountains. It's super, super bright, but also everything just looks so beautiful. It's not oversaturated. It's a very natural type of color, but skin tones look very, very realistic now. You can really see like the impact of being outside in that cold weather. You can look and just see it right on the actors' faces now. It's all very, very natural, and it's really great looking. The browns of the dirt in the streets and the mud, the grays of the stones, every color is just very, very natural, but it's beautiful. It's a really beautiful looking film, and that HDR10 just makes it look that much better. It is gorgeous. There were certain times I was looking at this movie, and I was blown away of just how bright and vivid the picture got, even though, you know, it's not vivid in a saturated way. It just almost looks like you're looking at something in real life, only it's on your television. The next thing I wanted to talk about here is the new Dolby Atmos audio track that comes on this. And I had only seen this movie in stereo previous to this watch, so I was really curious to see how they were gonna step this up to Atmos, because there's not a whole ton of stuff going on in this movie in terms of sound effects. There's the spurs on Clint Eastwood's boots, obviously dialogue, the score of the film, the echoes of mysterious voices through mountains. It's really, you know, again, a soundtrack that is varied, but not too much. But I'm glad to say that the Dolby Atmos track on this is really, really impressive. Even though the overheads are not really used much, dialogue is very, very clear and loud. The sound effects, whether they be gunshots, spurs, explosions, whatever they may be, they are booming and hard-hitting. And I really appreciate the fact that they didn't change the audio effects. They didn't change the sound effects of gunshots or anything like that. They match the original theatrical audio, which is also included on this, by the way, in a DTS HD Master Audio stereo track. So you can listen to that if you want to. But the Dolby Atmos track was just awesome. And the low ends were great. Everything about it just was perfectly spread out. It just gave the movie a lot more room to breathe, really, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I also appreciate the fact that I didn't have to pump up the volume on it. I left it right where my levels usually are, and a lot of times when you put these movies in Dolby Atmos, something gets quieter. The music, the dialogue, all of the above. In this case, it wasn't, and I really, really appreciate that. It was a great audio track, and yeah, I had no real complaints about it whatsoever. Now, in terms of special features on this, as I mentioned, there are some new special features included here, one of which is called The Diary of Sydney Penny, Lessons from the Set. And that's an interview with the actress who plays Megan, the younger girl who prays for a miracle and gets Clint Eastwood. Shouldn't we all be that lucky? But anyway, she talks about her experiences on the set and what it was like being 13 years old while filming this movie back in 1985. And yes, this is the 40th anniversary this year of this movie. So a lot of time has passed, but it was really cool hearing her insights and what she learned. Funny hearing her talk about learning how to pull a two-horse drawn like wagon was actually something that she's used more than anything else in her career. Very interesting stuff, but it was cool to see her back again, because I don't think I've seen her in anything since this film, so it's pretty cool stuff. And then there's another little featurette that's called Painting the Preacher, the cinematography of Pale Rider. And that one, I think, is even more interesting. And in that, you get little interviews with film historians, film professors, and even people that have worked with Eastwood. Like I think Joel Cox is in there, who was a prolific editor of Eastwood's during his career. And again, just an amazing little featurette that really kind of discusses the way that certain scenes are composed, certain shots, the way it was filmed. Really interesting featurette. I appreciated that one. And on top of those new special features, there's 3 other ones that are included that are basically re-releases. There's a documentary called Clint Eastwood, A Cinematic Legacy. And then there's another one that's called Reinventing Westerns. Eastwood Directs The Untold Story. And then there's another one called The Eastwood Factor. And The Eastwood Factor is actually an hour-and-a-half long documentary that covers pretty much all of Eastwood's career up until Invictus. And that one's actually narrated by Morgan Freeman. That was actually on its own DVD years ago. But I'm glad that they put those extra special features on there. And it looks like they've all been remastered in at least high definition or 4K. I'm not exactly sure, but they all looked really great. It was nice to see these different little pieces about Eastwood's career. So those are all included on here as well. So what are my thoughts on Pale Rider in 4K? I gotta say, this is hands down the best this movie has ever looked. If you're a fan of this, you are absolutely going to love this new transfer. I was blown away by it. If you haven't seen this movie, this is definitely the most definitive release of the film. Again, awesome transfer, fantastic audio. You got new and old special features and some pretty lengthy ones at that are included on here. This does also include a digital code. There's no standard Blu-ray disc. It's just the 4K. But I gotta say, this one, in my opinion, is a must-buy. I absolutely loved it. And if you want to pick up Pale Rider in 4K, I'll leave a link in the description below that goes to Amazon. If you use that link, it does help me out here a little bit on the channel. If you really want to help me out, definitely make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. And make sure you're subscribed, because I've got 2 more big reviews coming this week. I've got Dirty Harry and the Outlaw Josie Wales on the way as well. So again, big thank you to Warner Brothers for sending this out. Again, great stuff, really good release there. And as always, I wish you all the very best. Please stay safe, keep collecting, and take it easy.